going to be a quick win in the French defense, following along with theory that I cover in Master the French Defense. So, what did White do wrong in this game? Well, they went for this early Queen e2. And this is kind of a fun variation if Black doesn't know what they're doing. Very often, it's going to turn into some kind of King's Indian attack with the queen being on e2. So the more standard way to reach these types of positions would be from the King's Indian attack move order where they eventually play queen e2. And I remember I was at the Emery Castle chess camp in, had to be 2006 or 7, when Grandmaster Yuri Shulman was an instructor, and remember analyzing queen e2, and he had the class laughing. It's just like, well, is the queen being on e2 a useful move? Because when I go e5, Black's wasted a tempo, and clearly White's going to have to waste time as well. So this is like a very improved version of e4, e5. But when I was writing my French book, I said to myself, well, do we play the French to be an e5 player? No. So this seems like it doesn't follow our structure, doesn't follow common themes. Why should I allow White to enjoy creativity here? And by the way, the best supposed move for White is f4, and after takes, queen f2. And this is a relatively interesting game, but again, French players don't typically appreciate the nuances of King's Gambit accepted theory with extra queen moves. So let's do something a bit more sensible. Well, if you try to play the normal d5, we can't take back with the pawn, so that's not it. I want to be able to play d5 and get back to structural themes that I'd seen before. Simple chess, bishop e7. Now, after d5, if they take, I just take back, and again, their queen is going to have to waste time moving at some point. Knight f3 is played. Continue with the plan. Basic development. And this is where those themes of aggression come in. Knowing this idea, analyzing it in Master the French Defense really helped here. Is once you get kind of a plan in mind, it sticks. And you don't have to really study it anymore or learn it. So in this case, g3 is signaling White's need to play bishop g2 and castle. So if I could line up a big threat, say get my French bishop to a6, it could set up a potential skewer if I time the capture on e4 right. Well, being this is a blitz game, and these types of mistakes happen, b5. Nothing wrong with b5 at all. Gain space, frees up a square for my bishop, bishop g2, b4. My opponent just thinks, hey, he's just gaining space. Probably what should happen somewhere in here is e5, and again, French defense players should feel right at home here as c5, a5, you got a great square for the bishop, great square for the knight. Your queen can decide from a plethora of good squares here. But e5 was not played. Castles was played. So now we've got our theme. Take, bishop a6, and my nearly 2,400 rated opponent felt the need to go ahead and resign here. Maybe a little bit premature because you're just losing an exchange, but sometimes you go on tilt after missing an idea like this, so I don't fault the opponent too much for resigning in this position. Sometimes it's very difficult to recover psychologically after making a mistake like this. So this was, again, just a quick video highlighting this idea, how to play against Queen e2 in the French defense. And if you enjoyed the video, smash that thumbs up button if you would. Helps with the algorithm. And if you haven't subscribed, please do.